following some breaking news here. NASA just deciding to scrub its planned launch back to the moon. Thanks for being here. I'm Eric Connard.
And I'm Neda Iranpour. So glad to have you with us. So yeah, the latest update here just moments ago coming into our newsroom that NASA did in fact scrub the launch just a few minutes ago, and it's because of fuel leaks. You're looking live right now. It looks like it's raining where this Cape Canaveral, of course, is and where the space launch was supposed to happen. The agency's new moon rocket was supposed to go on a no-crew test flight with their 3 test dummies aboard. So this next attempt could happen Friday morning at the earliest. The goal would be to propel a capsule into orbit, have it go around the moon. The mission will be a big step forward in America's quest to put astronauts back on the moon for the first time since the end of the Apollo program. That was 50 years ago. We have not put a man on the moon since. NASA hopes to send 4 astronauts around the moon in the year 2024, in 2 years from now, and then land humans there as early as 2025. So we are going to have a live report from the Kennedy Space Center. That'll be coming up here in our next half hour. And now we want to get you caught up on local headlines here. Today, the husband of missing mother Maya Miliete is due back in court for a mental competency hearing. Back in June, Larry Miliete's attorney declared a doubt regarding his competency to stand trial. Criminal proceedings were then suspended. Larry Miliete is facing charges of murder and unlawful possession of an assault weapon. Maya Miliete has not been found in over a year and a half.
This morning, former SDSU punter Matt Ariza is no longer a member of the Buffalo Bills. The team's general manager cut him from their roster. It comes amid a civil lawsuit that alleges Ariza and 2 former SDSU teammates gang raped a 17-year-old girl in 2021. The Bills say they first learned of the allegations in late July and say they were not aware of them when Ariza was drafted earlier this year. Ariza's attorney says he is disappointed his career ended not over poor play, but over what they call false allegations. That attorney also says his client has not been tested for DNA in connection with the investigation. We're also learning one of the other 2 defendants in the lawsuit, Aztecs offensive lineman Xavier Leonard, has also officially been cut from his team. This morning, we are hearing from the alleged victim's attorney. Dan Gillian says, quote, the Buffalo Bills had no choice but to cut their young punter after so badly botching their response to our claim. They ignored us, as though what I warned them would happen could be avoided if they just kept their heads in the sand. This is what enablers do, end quote. Gillian says his clients handled herself with grace and dignity despite her life being forever changed. And this morning, we are learning San Diego State brought in a sex assault survivor turned activist to talk to the Aztecs football team. This happened just a couple of weeks after the university found out about the alleged rape. On December 1st of last year, Brenda Tracy tweeted saying she'd spent nearly 2 hours talking to the team about topics like victim blaming and false reports. The university also tweeted thanking her for leading inspirational and impactful discussions. According to the San Diego Union Tribune, a university spokesperson said that visit from Tracy came in response to the gang rape allegations that involve punter Matt Ariza and those 2 other players. Tracy has now released a statement saying in part, quote, as I read more and more the details of this case, it is becoming more obvious that SDSU did not do the right thing. Institutions should not defer to police investigations. Title IX and criminal cases can run concurrently, end quote. Be sure to stay with CBS 8 for updates on this developing story. You can also find the latest on our website and our social media pages.
And now, summer vacation, it's over for tens of thousands of local families. Today is the first day of classes at San Diego Unified.
That's right, CBS 8's Chris Grove live in Logan Heights. All right, so the summer vacation may be over. Still going to feel like summer out there, though, right?
Yeah, it still feels like summer. Of course, we're seeing a lot of smiles. The temperature still going to be probably, in the 70s, 80s. We'll let Evan cover that portion. So, yeah, it still feels like summer, but when kids get into the classrooms for the first time, of course, not necessarily going to feel like summer anymore. And I want to introduce someone with the San Diego Unified District here, Dr. Howard Terrace. And Dr. Terrace, thank you so much for joining us this morning. And I think a lot of people are excited about the beginning of the school year, mostly because we're going to see some smiling faces. First time in 2.5 years, students as well as teachers not required to wear masks. They can if they choose to, obviously. What goes into that decision making with the district and with schools, and how can that potentially change?
We are finding right now that COVID is not nearly as prevalent as it was even, say, 4 weeks ago. And we are hoping that most children will wear masks indoors, but it is not going to be required. There are certain circumstances where it will be required. if we are having multiple absences in a specific school site that are due to COVID-like symptoms, or if we are having several outbreaks in the same school. We will be very worried about attendance of both our staff and students, and so we will require masks in that school in order to not have attendance problems like we did, a year ago. So those are one of the criteria that would require masks again. If a child is exposed to COVID because they are in close proximity, which means in the same indoor space, we will ask that they wear masks, not just that it's recommended, but they should be wearing masks, and the same thing with staff members who are exposed to COVID for longer than 15 minutes in the same indoor space.
And to be clear, that's not necessarily always going to be a district-wide situation. It likely going to more so be school by school, right? Campus by campus?
Yes, a lot of this is campus by campus. When it's a contact, it'll even be classroom by classroom. But for attendance issues, it will be campus by campus. We don't anticipate there being a district-wide mask mandate coming up this coming year, unless something changes across the country or across San Diego County.
And look, I mean, this is a sign of progress, right? We're sitting here, we're talking about masks maybe coming back, where a year ago we were maybe talking about whether or not we would be in the classroom, right?
Yes, it really is quite a bit of progress. We understand how the disease is spread. We're following it in wastewater now. We hope that most children are going to get vaccinated if they are not vaccinated already. And a lot of these things really bring down the risk of severe disease.
Well, Dr. Terrace, thank you so much for joining us this morning and helping us out with that. We know that a lot of parents, especially in this school district and really other school districts, interested in how, again, schools are going to be handling the COVID-19 pandemic. It's because this is something that is still going on. Even though we are showing progress. But of course, for more information by district, especially here with San Diego Unified, you can go to CBS8.com, click on that story link as we have the first day of school. We're celebrating it here at Logan Memorial Educational Campus, by the way, an elementary, middle, and high school, by the way, the first high school in Logan Heights. So cannot let that pass up there. We're going to be getting the first freshman class here for Logan Heights, Logan Memorial Educational Campus, and soon enough we'll have those upperclassmen. Eric and Netta.
Oh,
that's
how great
awesome.
Is that?
They get to say they went to the first school there in Logan Heights. Chris,
yeah.
I love it.
They're incoming freshmen, and they're the oldest ones on the campus. When can you say that? All right, I love that. Hey, Chris, thanks a lot for that.
And San Diego Unified, not the only one starting classes today.
That's right. We want to wish all the best to the students and staff at Cal State San Marcos as well. So we touched on the middle all the way up to the college kids.
Level. Oh,
starting
yeah.
out.
Completely different first days for all grades. It feels like each one, though, a memorable year. So hopefully everyone has a great start to their semester. It is going to be a hot one. So let's send it right over to Evan so you can tell us what to expect.
To be the bearer of bad news over here. That's right. It is going to be a long duration, high intensity heat wave that we're going to be seeing across San Diego County and across Southern California as a whole. Temperatures climbing into the triple digits for your inland valleys. Our peak will likely come toward this upcoming weekend. So a full 5 days of climbing each day into the 90s and then to the triple digits for those inland valleys. There's a chance that even your coastline could make it to 90 degrees, and that is a rarity for us in Southern California. These highs could be 15 degrees above average once we hit our peak. Looking outside right now, Del Mar is a little bit cloudy along the coastline. Very pleasant weekend that we just ended. Looks like going into Monday today will carry on over. Might be a few degrees warmer than what we saw over the weekend, but those temperatures are still going to be cooler today than they will be any day this upcoming week. So this is the cooler day to mainly make that plan for what to expect into the rest of the week. Find the cooling center you're going to go to, the ways you're going to find shade out there, because spending too much time outside will absolutely have the expectation of resulting in a heat-related health concern if you're spending too much time out there and if you're especially susceptible to that high heat. Today is going to be okay, though. 83 across your inland valleys, 85 for the mountaintops. Coastline stays in the mid-70s. Take a look at the climb. We go from the mid-80s this afternoon all the way to the 90s tomorrow, low 90s at that, mid-90s by the time we get into Wednesday, and then those mid-90s last all the way through Friday. Beyond Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, your Labor Day itself, we're going to see temperatures near triple digits, and in some cases in the triple digits. There are spots of El Cajon, of Poway, of Ramona, where those afternoon highs could climb to 104 degrees by the time we get to your weekend. Saturday, Sunday, Monday is that stretch that we are really watching out for, and that's why more than a week from now, that is a long duration to be watching out for. That's the excessive heat watch that's going to take effect at 10 a.m. tomorrow. It's for the area in red, meaning San Diego. The entirety of the county is covered in it. Southern California as a whole really is. It'll last all the way through Sunday, expire at 8 p.m. at the earliest on Sunday, meaning that we could even see it go through Monday, your Labor Day holiday weekend. Let's talk about what's going on in traffic this morning. It's 6:11 right now. We have a couple things to take you to. First, I want to show you what's going on off toward the Ramona area. This is a closure that we want to let you know about. The State Route 78 is going to be reduced to one lane. This is for wildfire fuel reduction efforts. It's going to be a 5-mile stretch of State Route 78 from 4th Street in Ramona all the way to Sutherland Dam Road. This is farther off to the east, moving toward the Julian area. It's going to be taking place today through Friday daily from 6 a.m. to 4 p.m. Basically, State Route 78 is going to be reduced to one lane. That means at times you can expect delays on both the eastbound and westbound direction. Again, from 4th Street in Ramona to Sutherland Dam Road. That is closer to the east, moving toward the Ramona area. That's what we have for this morning. We'll keep you up to date as well on cbs8.com/traffic.